Today we're doing another one. We'll be reacting to Schlep's newest video, Roblox ban Hansen. I bet this video is going to cover a lot of what I've already covered for the past 2 years. I just had to step outside for a bit because I had to vent out a few things. But as much as Roblox is and how it is, it's like his toxic girlfriend. I won't just drop off. But I'm here to look at the person. It's like I'm watching somebody die and just like knowingly they're an asshole, and I'm just like, you know what, I might as well sit around and stand by to see how bad things get. If it continues to get worse, who knows? If it gets better, who knows? US Senate is currently still in Roblox as of now. It is currently August 15, 2026, 11:53 a.m. Eastern Time. Well, things are getting difficult out there. It's like a war zone, let me tell you. Now, people who are complicit in this and who don't give a fuck or don't know what's going on, look, when the people who are like the people who are out there who are apolitical, not engaged in society, doing eating, shitting, sleeping, eating, shitting, sleeping, working, eating, shitting, sleep. If you're like those type of people, if you have like 2 jobs and you're only able to do that, I apologize. You need more rights. You need to vote this out. Vote blue. Do this. The only way you can engage in society at least once, if you can just step out one side once and go to your nearest voting hall, vote blue. You'll never have to work 2 jobs ever again. If you only want to do that, great. That's how you can help me out. I don't want to fucking curse out another person who is not listening to me and is not able to use their brain for once. So we're gonna react to this. And if you want to be involved, join a Discord, join Instagram. I have my comms there. We have people who are very intelligent. They know all this stuff. They know this material. Very supportive people. Many people like you. If you're an asshole, just don't talk to me ever again. If I had done this for everybody, I would have almost no friends left. So 31 minutes, 17 seconds, I bet, is gonna address everything I've been talking about, except it has flashy effects. Subscribe to Schlep, give him some support. I will say this video's reaction. This is not the substitute for the original content I'm watching. Be at your, I digress. And here we go.
This guy's name's Freak for real, for real. That's his name.
I think we may be onto something.
Yeah. Say hi. Let's see what Freak for real, 7 has to say.
Testing.
Last year, I got 6 Roblox predators arrested. 3 now are convicted. In response, the Roblox Corporation banned all of my accounts. They then threatened to sue me for computer fraud. Not only did I lose a precious part of my childhood, but as a Roblox YouTuber, this directly threatened my livelihood. To make matters worse, the company put out a press release slandering my work as vigilantism, claiming I was entrapping users, saying that my actions were similar to real predators, and it made the
Yes, so just to explain what he's talking about here, I gotta step in. Yes, this is right. So when me, Schlep, Ruben Sim, and all these content creators like Creedcraft and any other one who's spoken around, and I think Danger Monopoly, Sabrina Price, some other people in the scene, Uncle Cow, I think it was Roblox News, Luxy News, whatever. When they did this and they called us vigilantes when we were exposing Roblox for their issues with predators, they called us vigilantes, and they made it official. They called it a vigilantism rule to address the people who are catching predators for them. What is really obnoxious about this is they decide, like, if anybody engaged in it, and if you are large enough of a voice, they will threaten you. They will literally threaten you for doing their job. But now, just a reminder, we're doing this for free. Nobody's getting paid to take out pedophiles, okay? So anyway, if you're on this channel and you're thinking this is a 18 plus video or child video, it's a video for everybody to see. I think everybody should know about this. But yes, they did call people like me vigilantes. So technically, in Roblox's terms, I'm a vigilante. I'm dangerous to these people, just like every other content creator that made videos on them. Continuing.
platform apparently more dangerous. And what followed next for Roblox was a chain reaction that they never saw coming. Several attorney generals filed lawsuits against Roblox on behalf of entire states. Hundreds of children who were abused by predators on the platform followed suit, alleging the company misled customers about how unsafe the platform really is.
The case
And I bet he's gonna go into the Kids Act because the Kids Act is merely a packaged version of COSA and a whole bunch of surveillance bills that are meant to drag user data into their databases for money. These people do not care about you. The government is completely corrupt. Don't expect quick evasive action to be taken by Roblox at this point. They're just going to head over and say, yeah, sure, let's go talk about how safe our platform is. If this is a very huge indicator of how badly corrupt this entire system is right now because of all the fuck ass oligarchs and techno fascists in government right now who are going around as lawyers and judges, this tells you so much about them because if they win this lawsuit against the US Senate, then there's something wrong here. If they lose the Senate lawsuit case, then we have something going here, right? It's complicated if you think about it, but I bet he'll go over to it because the government is suing Roblox. Yes, lots of different governments, lots of different countries. There's a catch. They want to use that as a scapegoat to pass their surveillance laws. He'll probably explain it here.
Famous case of one of their developers, Schlep, immediately comes to mind.
Well, I first want to just compliment Schlep for what he did. He had a lot of courage. And what Roblox is doing is totally unacceptable.
Roblox's reaction to these lawsuits wasn't to acknowledge the thousands of underage victims. It wasn't to ban the games in communities notorious for widespread abuse. It was to enforce a clause in their terms of service known as the arbitration agreement. Roblox claims that the fine print on their sign-up page compels every child who signs up for the platform, no matter how old they are, to agree to a 100-page legal document which says you're not allowed to sue them, and that any dispute has to be settled in a confidential, closed-door meeting.
Is this arbitration a normal part of dealing with a case like this, or is
It's a way to hush survivors of sexual assault, and it is.
Yes, very true. So Roblox has this really obnoxious 100-page plus document of arbitration, basically things you sign up once you press terms of service and you accept it, you can't sue Roblox. Unless if they do ever talk with you, it'll be behind closed doors. It's a way of silencing survivors, right? If you've been sexually assaulted or you got sextorted or manipulated, blackmailed, or maybe you were a child and you were just indoctrinated by some weird creepy person who said, let me do this and it's okay, and then they do these horrible things to you. And if you try suing them later on, you can't. They won't allow you to. Another thing, this is why Roblox is lobbying heavily for the Kids Act. Meta loves the Kids Act. Here's why. If you've been on my channel, the Kids Act is not only a farce and a Trojan horse to protecting the kids, it actually is a way of companies to steal your information, all your information, to sell it on the black market. If you didn't know that, there's this thing called insider trading, dark markets. But they also want to make sure you can't sue the companies. There was no law saying that you couldn't do that. But only because of the Kids Act can they go, you know what? Let's put this little thing in the Kids Act where it says you can't sue social media companies for sexual abuse, for sexual assault, sextortion, manipulation, indoctrination, all these things that related to like crimes and related to sex and things related to minors being manipulated and taken advantage of. They want to make sure families can't sue them. The kid can't sue them. The parent can't sue them. If you haven't made an account Roblox, you still can't sue them. That's why they want Kids Act to go through. Because then later, you can't even sue the company, even if you have never made an account Roblox. So the people who want to say, but you just don't play Roblox. Too late. I signed the terms of service 10 years ago. That's why I think it's so bullshit for people to try to say that you both just don't play Roblox. Too bad. By the time you signed the terms of service, you just gave Roblox all your information. That's how it works. Every social media app that you use will take your information away. That's how it works. Don't think, oh, just don't use social media. Don't be a dumbass. It's like saying, there's this war in the Mediterranean Sea. Oh, let's do nothing. Just leave it alone. Just don't fight it in the first place. And then those people keep killing each other. It escalates. Then nuclear weapons are involved. But it's fine, guys, because it's not my problem. You must be a fucking retard. That's my example there. So, you don't let it blow up. You want to first tackle the problem and actually do something about it, rather than saying just shh. Use your brain. This video will probably break it down, probably with images and stuff, so head on.
Unconscionable.
In their arbitration clause, it actually states that as a victim, you can only get $1,000 worth of damages. So your life-altering trauma, abuse, your child goes missing.
I can't. Haven't even made a tip line.
Even companies like Facebook and Snapchat have realized how horrible these tactics are, and they refuse to enforce them in similar lawsuits. But in court documents, Roblox is describing this as consumer friendly. Roblox ignored a journalist from Bloomberg when they asked them about this. Not even judges are agreeing with Roblox on what they're doing, and hundreds of parents are requesting Roblox to stop. While the company was trying to force victims of their safety failures into closed-door hearings, I was doing what I've been doing since day one, advocating for those very kids. They have names, they have stories. Some of them aren't even alive anymore. I know a lot of their families, and one thing I keep seeing is the absolute hell this company has continued to put them through. I decided to go on interviews. I did TV appearances. I appeared in documentaries. I was meeting politicians. I was on huge platforms. I went on one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And all of this was to let people know that Roblox is way more dangerous than they would have you believe.
And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Schlep's not wrong here. As much as I don't like that Schlep is like rubbing against some politicians who, which so you'll know, careful with whoever you have on your side. Careful who you have on your side. We're dealing with evil and good, but sometimes evil and good can be very blurry. Somebody could be doing something they think is a good thing to do, but it's actually horrible. There's a lot of people I will tell that to. A lot of people. They should know who they are. So for the people out there who didn't know, Roblox for a while has been, only just recently, but for quite a long time, I think counting to be long enough to be of a concern of, you know, ways to put that together over for court documents, enough level of concerning. They've been silencing victims. It's horrible. It's been seen a long time. It's been seen for a long time. There's articles, news pages, full documentaries, you know. Rokana stepped in, Chris Hansen, Fox News even. Don't get me started with Fox News. He even landed on what, Now Democracy or whatever. At some point it's gonna hit the Democracy channels and all the right-wing feed. This deep goes deep, and also excuse my hiccups. So, yeah. I've covered this on my channel for a long time. Just to know that where this is going is not good. It's also, they remind you, Schlep, careful cuddling to any sort of the politician or people who have lots of political interests. Some of these people want money, some of them want votes. Just beware. Whenever you do expose these things, when both sides are in on this, make sure these people are not for age verification. Make sure to tell them that openly next time.
Response to the backlash, Roblox started a massive damage control campaign that totally...
And then here we go, just exactly what I'm talking about. Roblox lost around $70 billion of value over the past year, with its stock price down 70%. The company blamed a lack of new viral games after disappointing earnings. Look, Roblox, if Roblox hadn't done all the shitty, like absolute Zoli, Figo, Frigoroka level updates, we might have not been here in the first place. You're going, Vince, why you're still on here? Just so you all know, Roblox is the heavyweight of all the issues, besides other huge media companies I can name out here, that has been causing all this misery. All the misery you've been having on social media is because of these guys. So I don't want to hear from anybody. So this is my problem, and it is part of my life. So this not only is a huge issue, they're losing value. If they lose value, that company is more prone to collapsing, right? A lot of people have made their entire lives on Roblox. Yes, that might be shocking to some people, but because Roblox has been over for 20 years, you'd expect people would make entire economies on the game. Yes, the game has an economy. People make a living on Roblox. You're like, this, prove it. Do your fucking research. How many millionaires were made on Roblox? How many people earn at least $100,000 a month on Roblox? Or even a year, even just $100,000 a year? A lot of people. And those are off of items, dresses, like items, UGC, limited UGC, clothing, 2D clothing, 3D clothing, and all of them have different categories, groups and affiliates, promotions, sponsors, deals. All of that's a real thing. It's a real economy. There's questionnaires, there's forms you have to sign, there's tax forms, real job. And if anybody asks, yes, we're gonna get into the child labor industry a little later.
Backfired. Rather than hiring more moderators, improve their reporting practices, or take anything away from my situation, Roblox decided to appeal to their investors and introduce a new cutting.
This is so stupid. To remind you, I did a video exposing Roblox where I said Matt Kaufman used to be saying, this is the greatest idea ever. And now we're here where he's saying, this is the worst idea ever. And I'm like, the article on my screen tells you exactly why.
Edge AI technology that completely stripped their users' privacy, requiring a face scan to even chat. These are the same features that Roblox had been publicly supporting bills of. To make it happen, the company partnered with Persona, a firm that faced litigation.
And by the way, fuck Persona. Alright, just had to reserve my energy for that one. Not more of that. But yeah, Persona, big company, connected to Palantir, connected to Oracle, huge surveillance state, shill. They absolutely love absorbing people's information and selling it to the black market, using that information and giving it to their startup millionaire CEOs in the tech industry for AI expansion and AI profits. It's become a slur on this channel. Me saying AI sounds like I'm saying a slur. But technically, yeah, Persona did work with Roblox. I said this long ago. And I said, guys, they're working with Persona. Somebody speak about it. 2 days later, people start speaking about it. Thank goodness. But yes, so it's not only that they are wrong, Roblox is wrong. They bolstered this, worked with Persona, and now Persona is gonna now have to face the consequences for their action because, funny enough, Persona lobbied for this. So Roblox not only just lobbied themselves into a lawsuit, they're now having to go into a lawsuit where they're accusing Roblox of favoring making more money over the safety of children. It's ironic because Persona wants money and they don't want the safety of children. They want to steal your data and say, here, give me your ID, give me your certificate, give me your social security card, give me your sex, give me your age, give me your birthday, tell me your email, tell me your alternative email, tell me your phone number. So y'all know what's going on.
Over its handling of biometric data. Almost immediately after age estimation launch, it became clear the system wasn't working as advertised. Children were being classified as adults. Adults were being classified as children. Roblox.
Yes, absolutely correct. Yes, Schlep is saying a right thing here. So yes, not only is that the system is inefficient and over 70% wrong all the time. Whoa, I know. Over 70% of the time, it is wrong. You know what you have to do to verify yourself to at least be 16, 18 years old on Roblox? Send a photo of your face. Just draw like marker, like draw a beer on your face. Draw a beer on your face. If you're a girl and you can't do that, still draw a beer on your face. If not, put your thumb in front of the camera, tilt it around left and right when you do the tilting thing with the face. Just draw ears on the left, right sides of your thumb, and you're 18 years old. This is why AI, as much as they boast about AI being super accurate, look into the police cases where they used AI to identify people in the road for breaking the law, where most cases, it was wrong.
Roblox even promoted a USA Today article in which a reporter visited Roblox's headquarters to test the feature. The system incorrectly placed her into an age group that would have allowed her to communicate with minors. And the crazy part is she did this test multiple times. At the same time, chat functionality across the platform became significantly less effective.
Yeah, so this little thing that you see here before he changed the screen, yes, it was a real thing. So before Roblox started to change the thing to be like, oh, whatever people are saying will just be summarized in the chat, this is what it used to look like. It was like these little lock signs with the little dots. Like this is all you saw. People you couldn't see or speak to would have lock signs in front of their names. That's just lock signs, and it would literally just censor all what they're saying. You can't even if you were verified, couldn't see it. That's all the chat. And I was like, why did Roblox even do this in the first place? Worse. Then they said, let's summarize the chat instead. Why? You know what you could also do? Reverse lobby this shit.
In many games, messaging activity dropped dramatically. What became obvious very quickly was just how easy this system was to circumvent. Videos began getting posted showing people bypassing the age checks in ways that seemed almost unbelievable. But even beyond that, there was a far simpler workaround. Anyone could purchase an account age verified to any age they wanted.
And when that initially came out, people were labeling it as the Predator Buffet update because it literally allowed predators to talk to any age group they wanted to.
Despite Roblox making all of these changes, predators were still thriving.
This stuff creeps me out. Oh no. Don't get me started on the age players and adult players. No. No. That is disgusting. I don't know who thought of it, but the person who invented the idea of making these doll outfits and then selling them as like, oh, you can use this. And now predators go around looking like toddlers wearing baby outfits. Like real Lolita outfits. And just so you know, this is not necessarily saying all women who wear this are weird creeps or on any of that. I'm specifically talking about Roblox players who want to go around defaming the use of Lolita culture avatars and use them as like age playing traps, like honey traps for people who think, oh, it's like maybe it's a 13-year-old girl, she just wants to be cute. And it's a 43-year-old man behind the screen in Minnesota on address. Actually, I'm not saying that. I'm gonna dox somebody. I almost said it. 35-year-old man. Yeah. So there's that. And I see this everywhere in Latin night, bathroom hangout, pool hangout, Latin night 2, La Mansion, 30 apartment. Follow the trail. If you know culture, you can understand where people would use this to do some really devious things in. And I just don't get how somebody could go out of their way to just dress themselves like this. I'm just like, come on. Sam, Katsuru, baby doll, cat emoji, emoticon, baby face. Come on.
On the platform. Roblox was still allowing games that they were being sued over. The way I viewed this update was smoke and mirrors. It was something to give the appearance of change, while not dealing with the criticisms that everyone had been screaming at them to fix. And you might be wondering, why? Welcome to America, the land of the free. A place where corporations can spend enormous amounts of money and capital influencing laws that serve their own self-interest. It shouldn't surprise you that Roblox has a headquarters in Washington, D.C., and they've been very busy there. They've been lobbying and helping influence a bill called the Kids Act. On the surface, who could be against a bill claiming to protect millions of children online? But just like a Trojan horse appearing in the city of Troy, this nicely packaged bill had something dark hidden inside of it. The bill would make it so victims wouldn't be able to seek justice against Roblox. Well,
so there you go. He explained it. I'll probably go break it down. So just saying, same thing as I said earlier. Can't sue them. Kids Act, Trojan horse. It is such a blunder to what America is. You know, I'll get political later.
Also taking away the power of state attorney generals to sue the company. Instead, enforcement would be left to the FTC, whose leadership is appointed by the president. Speaking of which, I wonder what David Baszucki and the president of the United States relationship has been like. That is David Baszucki appearing at Trump's.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it. January 2025. David Baszucki has been spotted at Donald Trump's second presidential inauguration. I was like, guys, we're in for some really awful shit. We're gonna see in-shitification like never seen before. And Dave Bazuki dared to go to the inauguration and say, I'm on your side, Trump. That was the day I essentially went like, so he's gonna do it. He's gonna really do this. He's gonna do this. Does he not realize what he's going to do is gonna essentially start a war? And so here we are. If you were playing Roblox in the year 2024, none of this you would be seeing. No age verification, none of this you made an account. Who gives? Who gives a shit? When he did this on January 20, that was the day where I was like, I wish you could see my face of disappointment, but can't do that here. But yeah, so I was just like, come on. He's basically saying, I declare war.
Inauguration. Here's David appearing at the White House. Oh, here's David personally donating millions.
And this is when it got worse. It got worse here. Dave Bazuki donated at least $2.5 million to Trump's $400 million White House ballroom last December, according to New York Times. There do I even have to explain this one?
Of dollars to Trump's ballroom, making him one of the largest individual donors. While Roblox was trying to get the Hill on its side and gain immunity from the mounting lawsuits, Roblox launched a significant PR campaign to mitigate what happened. It was an attempt to rewrite the narrative that had been slowly building up about their platform for years. They immediately came out swinging with podcasts featuring their head of safety, top executives, and even the CEO to advertise all of these new changes they've been making. But instead of rebuilding trust with the public, they made a series of comments so shocking that it only reinforced the very concerns they were trying to bury.
The scope of the problem here, what has led you to this point, and how do you think of the problem of predators on Roblox?
We think of it not necessarily just as a problem, but an opportunity as well.
What? Pardon? Say that again for the people in the back on the bleachers. What did you just say about the predators preying on children on your platform? You view it as an opportunity? So it seems like he's trying to say like he's viewing it as an opportunity to grow their safety measures, kind of. But the way he paints it as like an opportunity is crazy to me. Instead of like recognizing just how big of a problem that is and how bad it's gotten, that is so tone deaf and just a really weird sentiment to even try and be expressing here.
Good. So you're aligning with what we did. High five.
But I've also been covering social networks.
Thank you for supporting. Thank you for supporting our Roblox decision matrix.
I also remember 15 years ago
I'm so glad you guys are aligned with the way we won Roblox.
Right. I also remember 15 years ago when Mark Zuckerberg was saying,
is this a stealth interview where actually you love everything we're doing and you're here to stealthily support it?
We were told you wanted to come in and talk about your new age-gating technology.
When that clip released from like the independent interview these guys had with Roblox, like David Bazuki himself, when he started panicking and freaking out, started acting like a psychopath or something, that was the day where I remember seeing that clip when it released, that I had to literally step outside, walk for 3 miles, and like rethink my life decisions, come back in and go, did David Bazuki just really do that on an independent interview where they basically fact checked his ass around age verification and all this? And when he did the thing where he said that, did you do your research on that? Because Hindenburg is outfunded now. It's no longer funded. So, you know, where's your metrics on that? When he did that thing, I wanted to punch somebody really hard. But I was like, I know better not to do that.
Roblox continued to make statement after statement trying to repair the damage that was done to their game. The reality is, despite all the changes, not much was really fixed. These updates seem more as if they were trying to generate headlines than actual meaningful change. And you might be wondering, Schlep, what is meaningful change? Roblox has one of the lowest moderator per user ratios than any other major social media. Roblox was decreasing the amount they were spending on moderators while their player base exploded.
One of the things they pointed to was that there had been a decline in your spending on trust and safety. You have denied that. Why? What did they have wrong?
So fun. Let's keep going down this. And so first off, Hindenburg's no longer in existence, correct? So you should report on that.
The investment research firm that David Baszucki is talking about interviewed employees at Roblox who said safety was largely outsourced to Asian call centers. Moderators described being paid $12 a day to review countless instances of exploitation and bullying with a limited ability to keep perpetrators off the platform permanently. You wouldn't let a kid you know play Roblox? No, I wouldn't. I can't.
So these are re-employee and like inputs from the interviews that Hindenburg Research did, because Hindenburg was some of the best sources I think were for me to look into Roblox as it is as a company based on the input from employees. Because some of the very last times we ever had clarity from employees at Roblox were people who generally worked there, who were offloaded that outwork that was outsourced from their place of being. Roblox often hires employees, moderators, people to do these types of things, but Roblox has a ratio to compared to the plays that they have, the ratio of the players is low, right? But essentially is that when Hindenburg was doing research, every employee was exposed to be outsourced. Okay. Most tech companies do this. If anybody wants me to debate me on this, here's what I think about company outsourcing their employees. If you're going to outsource people, pay them fair square. Pay them the same amount of money you would pay your employees. That is what you're supposed to do as a company. Pay everybody fair and square. If you're not paying your employees the same thing at the same different times, but because they live in different places, you are a scumbag and you should go to jail. I'm sorry. Go to jail. That is fraud. That is pyramid scheme. That is merely cashback scheme. Don't even bother. I don't want to have anybody tell me anything wrong. They say, this is wrong, Viz. Shut up. If they're paying people in Roblox a lot of money to moderate their game, but they're paying Asian outsourced workers $12, $7 an hour, something is off. Even $5 an hour. Because Nike did do this before. Nike had sweatshops for how they make their shoes. It's why I feel like it's like whenever one day I have enough money on me, I'm not wearing any Nike shoes. Fuck Nikes. So had them only because of jobs. If ever there was a new company out there that made work shoes, I would buy for them. But right now, their sweatshops, real thing, just as Roblox outsources their labor to kids. Another discussion for another day. You should think about this. These are real employees telling you what they think about Roblox. These are inflated key metrics in Hindenburg 24. Real employees of Roblox saying Roblox is unsafe. You know, if they tell you that, believe them. They are middle class working people. I don't think they're going to lie to you and say, yes, everything is totally okay. If Hindenburg's like interviewing these people and they're saying this stuff, believe them. Don't listen to what Roblox says. Roblox has been doing lots of PR work and fixing, fix up jobs. Take that with a grain of salt.
Imagine why people are still using Roblox after all kind of, crap. That's why when my niece asked me to download, even though I'm an employee of Roblox, I won't tolerate you to play Roblox. I still think a lot of parents are confused about Roblox and how this is even happening in the first place. In essence, it's advertised as an innocent little Lego brick game where they can believe kids can express creativity and themselves. They have no idea the true dangers lurking on it. And out of anyone, these are the people that need to understand the reality the most. Last year, I had an incredible opportunity to speak alongside Chris Hansen in front of thousands of parents at a convention. When I found out this convention was returning this year with Chris Hansen, I had an idea. What if I showed those parents what actually exists on this platform? Then I realized I couldn't. This multi-billion-dollar corporation said they'll sue me for computer fraud if I ever touch their platform again. But then another thought crossed my mind. Chris Hansen didn't receive anything from Roblox. What if he was the one who showed it? What if he visited a game modeled after one of the largest exploitation hubs on the internet that was accessible on the platform, where predators contact people within seconds? For such a simple plan, I would have never predicted what Roblox was going to do next.
Without question, the most significant piece of journalism I've been involved with in the last 10 years is a documentary called Dangerous Games. For nearly a year, my team and I investigated predators exploiting children on the wildly popular gaming platform Roblox. Roblox is not just a gaming platform. It is a multi-billion-dollar publicly traded corporation playing on their platforms. Characters that resemble Lego blocks. It looks benign, but it's anything but. Schlep has been integral, not only here with the Roblox story, but he's been helpful to me and a lot of other reporting. And I'm grateful for you, young man. Became an advocate for safety on Roblox, and how was he treated? Did Roblox embrace him? Make him an ambassador for child safety? No, they cut him off. And they did dirt on him in a way I've never seen a corporate entity do dirt. Marty Gould, in some of these cases where families have sought to hold Roblox responsible, the company makes them sign non-disclosure agreements, ND.
Yes, this is the thing. If I had power in Congress right now, I'd make it that it's illegal for a platform on social media, gaming, whether gaming social or consumer consumer products, algorithm pricing, if it were any of that, it is illegal for them to make you sign an NDA either between you, the company, or even if you're an employee. If a company ever tries to say you need to sign an NDA, I think it's unfair. If a company is like, if it's really dealing with trade secrets, if it's dealing with like huge trade secrets that are worth like, if somebody forced you to say something about a company, I don't want that. I want it to make sure that so that like when an NDA is formed, it would be based on personal use, trade secret, or union. So that people who are protected, the right people are protected, not like huge billionaires and people who are forced to be silenced. An NDA, just like he says it here in the video, an NDA stands for a non-disclosure agreement. It is a legal contract between people or companies. It means that the people signing it promise to keep specific information secret and private. It makes sense when it's like, say, trademark, trade secret, personal use. Maybe somebody assaulted you. You don't want to speak. Keep that between you and the polices and all that. We can figure that out. I don't want it used on people like social media company employees. I don't want it used on people who are doing really serious work that's in relation to public services of giving consumers the experience of communicating to users across the internet. There should be no NDA or arbitration clause in any of these things because most people who use those social media platforms are essentially much more to be younger than older, not always 18 plus. So that's why I've always wanted companies to stop doing this NDA arbitration shit.
Yes. How does that strike you?
It's a history of cover-up. So one, in terms of changes, look at this company, right? Why did it take countless lawsuits of child abuse and exploitation, state attorney general actions for them to do anything? Then after thousands of kids exploited, lives were destroyed, Roblox says, okay, all right, we're gonna do something now. Then they're said immediately after acknowledging that there was a serious problem, and they knew about this problem years before everybody else did, before Schlep came out and blew the whistle, before the Attorney General of Louisiana kicked in the door on the first Attorney General lawsuit. Then they started talking about creating dating apps on the platform.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you guys a very, very nuanced take here. This is essentially my argument for 18 plus games on Roblox. But I'm gonna give you a nuanced take because Creekcraft is not exactly knowledgeable on these statistics. Sorry, Creekcraft, you're not exactly good enough for me or informed enough to be able to make an opinion on this area. It says right here, on opening keynote RDC 2025 in Roblox livestream, for 18 plus verified people and 18 plus experiences, thousands of adults will meet for the first time in Roblox dating experiences and subsequently form real life relationships. Here is the catch. People will think this is a bad idea. Actually, I think it's a good idea. Here's something that's concerning me. It should not be a dating app. No, not a dating app. Okay, number one, cannot be a dating app. This is a gaming platform. Two, don't make dating games. Okay? If you're going to allow dating games, expect legal adults to say some really crazy shit to each other, okay? Adults, when they're adults, can do stuff that kids cannot do, okay? If Roblox wants to do that, here's one thing I want to do. Let's say, don't get any people to like, oh, verify you're 18. No, forget about that. Allow 18 plus year old adults to say whatever they want. Yes, even links. You know, but Viz, isn't that gonna make things more dangerous? There's a bit of a difference here. You guys are not thinking far enough. Allow 18 plus verified adults to say whatever they want. Don't put any of this bullshit in voice chat, right? Voice chat should be considered an everyone ages thing. Why? Because then it's easier to find out who's weird. Where's your logic behind finding? It's easier finding people to being weird. So when voice chat is no longer censored and it's a everyone feature, like, hey, you want voice chat? Verify your email first, tell us your age, this and that. Okay, no, I need for ID. Why does Fizz want this to not be censored at all? And a thing that's for everybody, not just like verified users who have put their ID in who says that they can use it. Because whenever people no longer have a restricted voice chat, it is more easier for people to be able to tell what they are saying. When you're able to tell what these people are saying, you can easily figure out who is in the wrong, or who's saying weird stuff, or who's saying some crazy stuff. Like, oh, he said a bad word, he said a slur, or he said some really unacceptable thing. Well, that's where it goes to. And regardless, oh, and I'm getting doors knocked on the eyes. All right, we're gonna continue off right here.
Shows that they're totally
All right,
as to what the
having
issues
it
are,
right
and that they're
here.
not serious about addressing it.
I'll explain this a little further. So specifically, there'd be an open system where there'd be, like, say, this is this thing I mentioned to people in numerous videos back then. If you guys have been looking into the channel, I've been saying that there should be a robust system for a community moderation system, like a form of ways where people can communicate together and report other people that said certain things. I wanted to introduce this to be a thing, like where it says that people can leave community notes on people, just like how there's already community notes on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, whatever. You can leave community notes on people who are suspected of violating Roblox rules. It has to be verified, and AI should not immediately ban people the first time somebody is accused. It should go through 2 different checks. A second review could be done more by legal human personnel. You're going, Viz, isn't that a little dangerous? Actually, it is more about risk mitigation. You guys don't think about that specifically. So risk mitigation is a part of this. It's like saying, okay, it's not fully perfect, but it's a lot more better, accurate, safer, performatively, statistically, it is a better solution. If we had done community notes, if we had a more robust active system where we can report with images, text, and evidence, right? This stuff can be scanned and it can be traced to a user, because when Roblox added the update where it says that whenever you join a game, your game ID is different, right? Your user ID will change in every game you're doing. Not only is that like sabotaging the point of having the report system, the report systems, essentially, I want bros to do this, is add a thing where whenever you report, you can put in the user ID. Not just the username player, but like their user ID code, so that whenever they go into games, they should use their AI for this. This is a thing I did. If you do a report and you put a username, you put their user ID, when they go into a game, every game should be fully scanned for that exact ID for what the player is like suspected of doing wrong in. It will look into those, then it will look into logs, then the AI can look into the current community notes, right? And it'll mark the player either as dangerous or false alarm, people are harassing this person. Or there is a possible probable cause. You can teach AI to do this on a huge aspect, because Roblox has a huge data center base, big enough to sustain that. I'm afraid they can handle that pretty well, besides the Amazon Web Service failures that I've been seeing. So effectively, they can do that. AI can mark these players as like, suspicious behavior, but you can't ban them. I want it so that when people do get warned, instead of the AI warning the player and saying, here's the status of how far you're away from getting banned, it will tell you immediately, hey, you've been reported for these things. Here is what people said about you. It should show an anonymous, right? It would say anonymous. You can't, everybody who does this will be anonymous. You can anonymously do this, right? It will show you, all right, this person reported you for this, anonymous, whatever. And it'll show you what you said, a picture, your user ID, your user, and reason of why you're getting warned, right? And it should be probable. So the AI would already, by then, the report would be first checked. Then it will go into the game, look at what you're doing in game, type in games, check if the games that the user reported you are actually in. and then it will go into community notes. People can leave saying, hey, this guy did this in this game. It's anonymously left in. The people can't see this, but the AI can. The AI moderation can see this. They can see these community notes of saying like, hey, report abuse. Because usually Roblox has this report abuse button next to players who are playing Roblox. Usually that. So Roblox sees that as a ticket system. I think that's really sloppy, obnoxious, broken, too loose. That's not regular. That's why I said community notes are a good idea, because then the AI would have all this data of people saying, hey, this guy did this, did this. And if the players don't have like, and also better, when a player does a report, the more information they fill, the more reliable the report is. That's why that's just why I can be trying this. The more information the AI should see is more like, true. And it will look into this data and they're like, now it's double true. If it's just like something like, oh, this person was being weird in game, that's not a substantial report. Too low information, it's very vague, there's no photo or any user ID linked to these information. So they could do that as well. And Roblox doesn't do that because they don't want to. So essentially they're missing out. Which is why I think people in 18 should be limited to giving everything. They're 18-year-olds. They should be legally able to. If somebody minor gets into a game full of 18-plus-year-olds, why not, instead of putting 18-plus games and just putting on the recommended page, let's make sure that those games only show up in a different side of Roblox. Let's say activate, like there's this button, toggle button that says show mature games. Instead of like putting the game and allowing it to be recommended randomly because it's a game platform, let's add a toggle button in the age appropriation, security, and details section where it says there's a toggle saying mature games, show mature games. If you toggle it off, every mature game you don't want to see should disappear. And it's also that if a person has a child account, Roblox instead, if they want to make this extremely secure, separate the Roblox app into Roblox, Roblox Kids. So everybody who is unverified, obviously minor, should immediately be switched to Kids. So that later we can mitigate and like propagate this and shrink this risk and display the cases and data onto people on a very fair distribution that is, in a way, easier for this to be done effectively.
When it comes to people that want to come forward, like Schlep, what they do? Cease and desist letters threatening to sue him. They're forcing kids that were abused, or they're trying to force them into confidential arbitrations so they can put a muzzle on it so none of that's public, so the public can't learn about their long history of knowledge and failing to act.
You know, I learned something interesting. Roblox has initiated and has parental consulting group. So there's like a committee where they allow parents of young Roblox users to weigh in on safety issues. But they have to sign an agreement that says they will never seek action, legal action, against Roblox as a company or any single employee.
Yes, this is another issue. So point out what Chris Hansen is saying here. Fact checked. Yes, absolutely correct. What he's saying is absolutely correct, has a lot of sustainable evidence. Yes, when the Family Parent Council was formed by Roblox, it's been a thing for a very short time. Yes, these parents, when they visit Roblox for the Roblox Safety Council, have to sign NDA saying, you covenant not to make or bring any such claim against Roblox or any other Roblox parties, and for release and discharge Roblox and all other Roblox parties from liability under such claims in relation to sexual abuse, assault, manipulation, indoctrination, and many other forms of counsel I can, you say on YouTube, which I can't all say, but I say enough of. But yes, technically, when they go there, they can't say anything. They can't say their names, they can't say who, which is why I don't believe that their data is methodically accurate. It is definitely very suspicious. It is not reliable in my terms of methodology that should be seen as like scientifically usable data that could be reliable to present a case that forms enough evidence to be able to be compatible with science, math, statistics, data, and social studies that would be formed around in these cases. Due to Rolex situation around going to get sued by the US Senate over, let's say, now, the U.S. Senate sued Rolex specific for this. I mean, disclaimer, don't sue me. Well, the U.S. Senate is suing Rolex over that they are prioritizing funds, profits, and money over the safety of children. Rolex already having placed down numerous safeguards and metrics around trying to make sure that that's not, a thing they can sue for. it'd be ironic to see how they defend themselves in this because they've already done every single possible way to age gate and surveil their users. So not only is this parental council useless, it reminds me of the UK when they went over for COSA and they said that responsible parents gave us their very great information and their takes into what actual kids safety should be like, and they gave us so much advice. So then we asked them, all right, show us who they are. Who are they? They're like, this is a group of people who will decide the fate of the entire country around certain age verification, surveillance, and all of this stuff. That's a very small group of people who control the entire fate of what happens in the next month. So you all know. They said, we don't have the data now. We'll tell you about it in summer. We are now in fall. And you know where that data is? Nowhere to be seen. They just said they met adults and they were such an approval of the laws we're passing to collect information on children, adults, and people who don't have to give their ID away. Where? Who? Where? Name? Date? Where? Nowhere. Same for Roblox. You can't talk about it. You can't sue them about it. So even if you're in the parental council, all you're doing there is showing up, talking, and you can't speak of it. What's the purpose of the council if you can't even speak on it?
Parents, well, not the only ones, but a vast majority of them that are joining are parents who have had something that had happened to their kid. So it's almost like they're trying to poach these lawsuits before they even start.
I've been told and I've read by critics of their stock that the moderators are half a world away with very limited English language skills. So from the get-go, it's a bad system. Is that right? Is that correct as far as you know?
Absolutely. I mean, some of the communities I was showing you, they weren't like small communities. They had thousands of people in them.
It truly was a predator's playground. Roblox is different, I think, and worse than almost any of these other online platforms, just because of that deception to the parents, is they sold it and told parents, we are the safest place on the internet for your kids. At a time that they 100% knew that wasn't true, and they knew that predators were swarming, flooding this platform.
There was some counts that I was going to show where the username, the nickname on there was fully open. It was something totally inappropriate, and the actual Roblox username was banned. It was reset, meaning an employee, a moderator, someone at the company determined that it was violative, reset the username, but left the profile up.
Another thing, destruction of evidence is evident, based on evidence, is a form of destroying and obstructing the crime, the scene. Roblox should, since it is a gaming platform, it should be seen that whenever a case goes around to be resetting passwords, account names, details, and display names should be seen as the obstruction of evidence. When a game does, though, tries to clean the evidence, like what you're seeing here, what he's addressing, international affairs is very sloppy, and outsourcing of employees don't often mean that the employees you get outsourced are necessarily English speakers, because the United States in English is like this huge thing in the entire world. You speak English and you have access to so many different industries, businesses, and places of the countries of the world that you've never thought you would have access to if you simply speak English. But that doesn't mean expert, fundamentally very great, fluent English levels. Most of the employees that have been saying that wanted to put on video, but unfortunately can't because they have NDAs. So those people are often scrutinized and often don't do a very good job because Roblox simply says, here, do this, here's the rules, do this, enforce this, do it. When it's an obvious user, for example, all you have to do if you want to find inappropriate accounts, type bull, BULL, and you'll find every single age player, race player you'll find in Roblox. This is how you'll find condos, games, groups, and badges and relations towards these people with their friends and users. And you can look into all their alts and usually triangulate back to Roblox's fallacy in moderation. This is why I say when people outsource their employees, pay them fair and square. Also, make sure your employees are able to speak the language that you're giving them. Roblox, because they're super huge and massive, most adults and parents, whenever they try to look up on information around Roblox, Roblox always tries to defund and silence people and critics who often speak about their company. Like when Hindenburg used to interview Roblox employees, when Roblox employees were asked, how good is Roblox? What do you do? What did they tell you to do? Here's this and that. We used to have transparency on that. And because of lack of transparency is, now there, we don't have transparency. people of those kinds, the outsourced ones, they don't know. They're just hired to do a job and a task, and that's all they do. Now, if they do something else, it could be something from higher up. And the structural base of these types of businesses is just gets really shady, and it could be hidden under legislation, layers and layers that often make it problematic for cases to be put out with enough, spotlight. And often this is a very common issue is that Roblox really likes to hide things, and whenever they can't hide things, they try to put a PR stunt. They do this and they pay people cut them off, just as they already lowered their funding and all their funds that they have for moderation is going low while their players go up. Now they did lose players, but they're still massive. But that's just an example of like their players going up, their moderators going, down. There's less of that, and so when those outsourced people are just the main force, right? They're the main force going behind it. If you look in the metrics, for the last time we found what like the ratio to who's moderating to players, they have a 0.77 metric of like ratio from moderators to players. Other platforms have a bigger ratio. They have like 1.53 or something to players, like ratio of 1.53 to whatever amount of players they have. So you can always look at this. The map shows it. There's a lot of risks. We already seen examples. We saw lawsuits and cases that show up that evidently this is satirically a joke. The conduct that they're doing.
Tell me, Schlep, what you're going to show us today.
Well, I think it's one thing for all of us to just talk about Roblox.
Right.
I think people need to see it.
I couldn't agree more.
What you're going to do, so I legally can't play Roblox, so Chris has to. Yeah.
We're going to see how this goes here.
So you're going to click that button right there, the join.
Okay, so explain what I'm doing by hitting this button.
So you are entering a game right now that is literally based off of a platform that was sued out of existence for child exploitation.
Popular video chat service shutting down after its founder acknowledged persistent criminal activity on its website and...
Yes, unfortunately, this is accurate. This is fact-checked by me. Omegle did get sued out of oblivion. It was a whole pedophile ring of it was like a volcano of illegal activity. I wanted to use Omegle for a long time on channel. Funny enough, I wanted to make videos on Omegle fooling around with strangers, but if you're anybody like me and you've known, if you're on Omegle for 10 minutes, it is without a regard. You're going to find somebody's genitals on the screen, man or female. And there's always people pickpocketing, honey trapping, indoctrinating, and trapping kids in all traipsing and stuff. It's got to out of existence. So what Chris Hansen and Schlep did in this, literally in front of an audience, is Schlep said, so I can't play Roblox. I got cease and desist on me. I can't touch Roblox or do anything on Roblox because that will be computer fraud, whatever, yada, yada, industry company things that they do. So he said, Chris Hansen, though, he's not being sued by Roblox. He's not under all these guises. He's not under all these issues. So let's have Chris Hansen in front of the entire audience play a game inspired by Omegle. And you guessed it. He gets banned live. And I want to repeat that to people who are watching this video. Yes, Chris Hansen, brand new account. Chris Hansen. Schlep showed them how to. He says he can't touch Roblox anything. Goes onto a game inspired by Omegle and gets banned live on broadcast while doing this, showing that Roblox is watching what people are doing. But not the evil people, not the people who they're supposed to prosecute. They're watching people who expose these type of behaviors all the time. They call us vigilantes, criminals, cyber criminals. They call us these titles. But whenever we do it live in front of an audience, so you have Chris Hansen for all sake, just so you all know, disclaimer. Chris Hansen is not perfect. There's a lot of things I'll criticize him for. It is really dirty. But we need more people on our side right now. We're going to need as many people as we can get, unfortunately. So he gets banned live on broadcast. Literally. Rose is like, he's exposing us. We can't have this happen. Bans him.
That platform being Omegle, this is a game called Romy, and you'll see very quickly. So just hit start match.
Start match.
Yes.
This is Romeet, which is available on Roblox.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we called this Predator?
I know, right?
And thousands of people got a chance to talk to him?
Yeah. What do you say? You have Snapchat. Immediately, first message, you have Snapchat. That was what you just got. He's trying to lure you from Roblox onto Snapchat.
And who does he think we are?
A female. It's just a female account on Roblox. And that person is asking you to get to Snapchat.
What you want to do?
Yeah.
Now, do you think for 1 minute he thinks he's talking to Chris Hansen?
Just to lighten up the mood a bit, Hadir Farah, I think his account got banned after this because this guy was on public. They were on Road Meet. If anybody didn't know, I forgot to specify that they were on Road Meet. Basically, the Hadir fan basically said, "Hey, Snapchat, let's go talk on Snapchat." Like literally 1 minute in, somebody's asking for somebody's Snapchat, and just so y'all know, they were using a girl account. It's a girl account they're using. It's necessary in order to prove that there's a thing going on. It's for girls and boys. Same for boys. Women can prey on boys. So Chris Hansen is funny enough. This guy doesn't know he's talking to Chris Hansen. This is all being live streamed. So kind of funny to see this guy wearing a stereotypical "I have hair covering my eyes" avatar, just saying, "Hey, Snapchat." Just like already somebody is doing this in Roblox, and I'm just like, well, there you go. They didn't take a minute.
I don't know. I'm bored.
He's bored.
Oh, yeah.
Say, you got any ideas?
Any ideas? No. What about you?
So he's fishing right now. So
Right.
He's trying to pretty much get...
Probing.
Exactly. He's trying to. So if you want to just skip and see another...
This guy, by the way, very careful. He was very careful. This guy was basically fishing. Fishing and probing is a way pedophiles basically ask specific questions. Experienced pedophiles often say, "Hey, this and that. I'm bored. What are you doing? Give your Snapchat. How's it? What about you?" Or "I don't have any ideas." And they usually get very attentive. They're like, what if this is a police officer? So they always take their time saying this and this, but they slowly get there. They don't just jump in and say, "Let's do this inappropriate thing." Those are more experienced pedophiles, which, by the way, is this guy. Check his computer. Sorry. The minute they start probing and fishing, it's a pedophile with experience. If it's somebody who just blatantly says, "Oh, let's do inappropriate things," immediately, absolutely, definitely a young guy, young woman behind the account who never was a pedophile before decides to do this for the first time.
Other guy.
All right. What's that?
And bust his ass.
Bust his ass. Yeah, we'll get there. Trust me.
I want to see if we can get one. Some of these people will straight up ask you.
Right.
Okay, this guy's name's Freak for Real for Real. That's his name.
I think we may be onto something.
Yeah. Say hi. Let's see what Freak for Real 7 has to say. What are you doing?
What's up?
Oh, is that what you... Oh. You've been
Oh,
kicked by
Brawling
moderators.
banned.
Wow, what just
Live
happened
on
here?
stream
Yeah,
on
watch it.
broadcast in
Go-
front
are
of
they
an entire
watching?
TV
Here, wait,
audience
Exit?
and
Exit on
social media
that?
as well. At the same time.
And then just refresh
That
the
is
page.
crazy.
I just want to know, Chris
Just
is controlling
refresh.
this, not me.
That is so friendly and crazy, but it happened. It's like Donald Trump banning Bad Bunny live on stream. Like it's like, hey, sue the Super Bowl for broadcasting Bad Bunny on the Super Bowl, right? And it's like they immediately the entire thing gets taken down because Donald Trump hates Bad Bunny. It's like this. It's like you're doing this thing, and suddenly, as you go, get banned right as it's happening. That's insane.
Right.
Yeah, just refresh that page.
Who am I logged in as here?
Roblox just banned the account. Oh my god. Wow.
Banned.
The Roblox employee is watching this right now.
Banned.
Live on stage. Rather than banning that
Crazy.
game, is gonna do that.
What has happened here?
You got banned for apparently violating the terms of service for inappropriate content or behavior.
What do you think is really happening? Why would I get banned?
Because we just showed thousands of people what's going on.
Do you think they're monitoring this knowing that we're appearing at Roblox?
I mean, I'll let everyone answer that. Yeah.
You see how this looks, right?
Disgraceful company. Part 3, the black box. Here we go.
Roblox has to have the worst PR team of all time, because what do you mean they banned Chris Hansen?
They were immediately approached for Snapchat information with the first person they talked to.
And I bet you they didn't ban that guy, the user of that, only banned Chris Hansen. So they could stop us from seeing what happens is diabolical. Okay? I need you to understand how crazy that is.
If you had told me when I started exposing predators on this kids game that one day I would be sitting next to Chris Hansen and I would watch Roblox ban him in real time in front of an audience of thousands of people, I would have thought you're crazy. The idea of Roblox banning the guy who is the face of hunting predators sounds too comically evil, but it happened. And knowing Roblox, their history, and what they've been actively doing, realistically, it starts adding up to the point where we're at now. Roblox themselves have already probably crafted a narrative around the events you just witnessed, but I'm about to release information that I believe will shoot down any claim they try to make. This here is the exact same game Chris Hansen played, and only a couple hours before, this footage was recorded, 10 minutes of it, and the account that is shown here faced no moderation action at all. A popular influencer who attended.
Yes, absolutely correct. He is factually correct. I can prove this. Now, I've done the research on this before recording this video, of course, I always do. Yeah, the game, even after that, Roblox didn't take down the game. Wow, mind blown. Who knew? At this point, if you have been on my channel, you would know that this is some of the most, like, he didn't even try. You didn't even try. Maybe like, we took down the game after we banned Chris Hansen literally in front of an entire audience of people in a broadcast that's been broadcasted to the entire internet. We just did that. Yeah, let's just not take down the game. This is Chris Hansen. This is Schlep. This is like every person was speaking it at the top of the lungs. Romy is still up. No way.
CrimeCon, who saw the panel, released an hour-long podcast speculating that he believed someone at Roblox was sent to this event to ban Chris Hansen live.
In my opinion, Roblox was sent people to this event specifically for this breakout conference so that when they do this thing on camera, they can ban them and not go further. They don't want this message out there to the point where they will send people to a crime convention to stop us from seeing it.
Roblox loves to downplay the games I showcase, so let's look at the actual numbers. The game Chris played wasn't on some obscure corner of the platform. It was a re-upload of a game that had been taken down just a few days earlier. That last game reached millions of visits before Roblox finally removed it. Every single day, thousands of players logged in and played the game that Chris Hansen played, a game where predators will message you within what can be seconds of joining. Roblox has been making comments implying that I've been waiting to report rule-breaking games so I can make social media content out of it. The reality is, I've been sounding the alarm on these random chat room games for well over a year now. In fact,
And if you're like me, I've been on Roblox. I've been doing Roblox content for as long as Schlep, so you all know. Just a disclaimer: I've been at this for a lot of years. I've already been exposing Donald Trump since 2015. There's a bunch of other. I've been exposing companies for a long time, but like even then, the fact that Roblox is saying that we are just making content off of exposing games like this just to make them look bad is just substantially, categorically, factually, statistically wrong. If you look into the statistics and look into the actual data, what Schlep is showing you, he is absolutely correct. Looking into the statistics around that, the numbers, the percentages, the probability, and all that, when you do the calculations, you would find out there is still predatory behavior online that is constituted as concerning enough to be able to be applied in an applicable law for suing a legal standard. This would be upheld in law in 3 different ways for not only enticing these type of behaviors, but also trying to play a character and say that when we do content exposing these things, you shouldn't be saying that, oh, we're doing a bad thing. You should be saying, thank you for reporting this problem. We will take this into hand and remove the game. And then show us that you removed the game. If there was enough evidence, we've shown you evidence, videos, text, logs, everything. We've shown everything. So when they say that we're doing this and we're wrong, that they're calling us vigilantes and trying to silence us, I almost got sent a cease and desist for exposing Roblox in my video that hit 1,000 views, 3,000 views. Look, if it's causing that issue, if it's such an issue for us to expose these games, why isn't Roblox doing it themselves? They have a big enough player base, and you're saying, but they have a small crew. They can't possibly do that. Okay, Let's take the argument they can't possibly take down every game that we report. Can they ban the most popular games at least? At least can they take out the popular ones that have substantial evidence that is collective enough to count as a, okay, this might be of public relevance and should be therefore removed? Could we do that? They haven't.
Was sending these games to people with close connections to Roblox, people in Roblox's own safety council, who Roblox ignored until they went public to shame them on social media. Roblox responded to them, saying that they removed the content, but the community note tells an entirely different story. Roblox ignored until they people in Roblox's own.
And yes, this also happened recently. The Community Safety Council is also a real thing. A person broke their voice. They broke the NDA. They could have been sued for breaking and violating the NDA based on them appearing for the Safety Council things that Roblox does. And instead of Roblox deciding to sue them, it's like the first case we've seen somebody said, you know what, broke the NDA, I'm gonna spill the beans. That person was prepared to receive the blunt force of the Roblox Corporation suing them. And instead of that happening, guess what happens?
Own safety council, who Roblox ignored until they went public.
They said right here, and their name is censored because harassment, Ukraine campaign and stuff. This game should not be allowed in Roblox. Why are we allowing 13-year-olds to talk anonymously on an amigo clone to other players with no way to see what their username is to report them? Many first messages are either inappropriate or asking personal questions and lead off-site. This is part of Roblox Terms of Service. This is a violation of Terms of Service. Let me note down what those are. There, and if I do put a photo of it on the screen, here's a photo of it. This is what they're violating. But if you want to hear a vague explanation from me and not have to go and read the boring text yourself, this is a violation of the regards in sexual content and communication. You cannot communicate to a minor and lead them off-site or off-platform for sexual activities that relate to harming their behavior, their safety, and ask any of them for their personal information that is a violation of information, the contact to collect in data, or acts that are supported by the United States, where it says that you as an adult cannot just throw around asking a bunch of minors for their personal information like their name, date of birth, ID, verification, social security, birth certificate, more of that. It's like anything that's identifiably personal to the child, because parents do not consent to their children. It is automatic in U.S. law that parents do not automatically consent to their children giving anybody the information. They have to authorize their children to give that information. Unfortunately, due to age verification laws, a whole bunch of other laws related to children, yada yada. This guy broke the news about it himself. And then Roblox, in their response, very, very shady. Only one reply. Only one reply. This guy, barely known, not famous. Roblox found their post and said,
public to shame them on social media. Roblox responded to them.
Roblox responded on October 25, 2025, on my brother's birthday, technically, ironically. They said, Roblox, confirming we have removed this. Thanks for flagging. Only 12 replies. Nobody saw it. Until people uncovered it, did they go, Roblox is like, uh-oh, it's viral. We have to do something. We removed the game. Boom. Alright guys, we did a great job. We took down the game you reported. It took a person breaking and violating NDA to do this.
Saying that they removed the content, but the community note tells an entirely different story.
And this is hilarious. Then came in the fact checkers. Me. And a bunch of people. We said, readers added context they thought people might want to know. As of this moment, Road Social is back up and present on Roblox. Despite the claim of having the game removed, you can view that the game is still clearly up in the link below. So they then put the game back up.
story. Even before my cease and desist, I was reporting these games to Roblox. Yet Roblox has taken so little meaningful action against these experiences, they'll let these giant exploitation hubs gather millions of visits before being taken down. You might be thinking, Schlep, this only happened once. I went on the Sean Ryan show earlier this year. Within seconds of joining, the first 2 people messaged Sean Ryan if he was freaky. This podcast was viewed millions of times, and yet it wasn't enough of a wake-up call for Roblox to finally take a firm action towards these sort of experiences. What I found interesting, though, is that after this podcast, the Roblox CEO released an actual response to it, but he...
Most of you probably don't know how to read. We're going to reverse this here. We're going to show you what Roblox said. After the numerous amount of podcasts with millions of views, let me give you, just so you know the metric. Even after numerous podcasters, famous ones, right-wing, left-wing, centrist, independent, regardless of their politics, even after they put in the effort to try to expose Roblox, they got preyed on as female players. No traipsing, nothing weird fault. Roblox then said, they basically said, I want to speak about how we treat real-world reenactment on Roblox. In the light of recent tragic events, we have a strict zero-tolerance policy for enacting any real-world tragic event on Roblox. This includes acts of terror and school shootings. Such experiences directly violate our community standards, and we strive to block them before they are even published. That said, a handful of bad actors do try to create these experiences to share with their friends and on social media. Although we are not perfect, we work hard to moderate and remove them as quickly as possible, and the vast majority of players on Roblox never encounter them. Yada 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 bullshit.
To it. But he never once addressed these games, despite it being some of the most shocking content shown within that episode. It's almost like this content on their platform is so bad. What could the CEO even say in response to it? Here's some more information as well. Roblox took the game down Chris Hansen played about an hour after the panel, but then it was re-uploaded by the end of the night, the exact same game. The account Freaky for Real wasn't banned until days later, and the account that asked Chris for his Snapchat is still on the platform now. Not to mention this.
Same thing. Yes, the guy I did say Hitler fan.
That asked
this guy that I made fun of, he's still here. Never
Chris for his
got
Snapchat
removed.
is still on the.
This guy, Roblox literally threatened to sue me over this. He's still here. Still has the account.
Platform now. Not to mention.
Here's another one. This long D word. Still up.
This account that was in the lobby with this horrible username. But clearly, Chris Hansen was the person violating Roblox's terms of service. Hey though, maybe it's just a coincidence, just like everything else that Roblox does. But I can tell you what isn't a coincidence though. It's the pattern of these dangerous random chat room games resurfacing on the platform after being removed. These games get millions of visits and are literal exploitation factories where predators message you within seconds. Why are they doing the bare minimum about it? Well, it all starts to add up once you start looking into their history. It's August, and the Roblox Corp.
I remember the date well. August 8, 2025, August 13, 2025, February 13, 2025, December 27, 2024, April 1, 2024. There's so many dates I would say, and they all lead to historical events. Boy, I was not wrong. When I pointed out all of these things early on, before any famous person did so, I said, what if somebody did this? And laid down all of my information. Oh my goodness. It all comes back to front of last year, and 2 years ago, and 3 years ago. Look into the trails. Look into what they left behind. Look into everybody connected. Oh my goodness. You notice.
Corporation just issued my cease and desist. They terminated every account I own, and I'm off the platform. Immediately, the community turns against him. They're struggling how to handle it. The chief safety officer writes a press release on Roblox where he compares me to actual predators. Then they just start banning anyone that uploads anything of me on the platform. YouTubers start protesting. It starts going mainstream, and they realize how bad this is making them look. And it turns into a massive Streisand effect, and it only gets worse from there. But during all of the noise, something leaks. Something that slips under the noses of most people. Remember that guy who compared me to predators in a press release?
Matt Kaufman. This son of a Philo. Him. Boy, there is so much to discover about this man. I bet he'll cover this. I don't think I have to explain it, but that Streisand effect that occurred when millions of people began to side up against Roblox, all the countries, almost every country in the world, basically. Like, technically, based on how many countries ever sued a company this big last time, is historically rare. Oh my goodness, Matt Kaufman. I said some shit about this man. I bet he'll say it.
His name is Matt Kaufman. He's the Chief Safety Officer at Roblox. And when you think of platform safety, he is the man in charge. When you play games on Roblox, depending on the experience, you'll be awarded these player badges. They display on your profile and they showcase to people what games you have previously experienced. Throughout the controversy, people pointed fingers at everyone inside of Roblox, but one name kept coming up more than most. At some point, someone most likely frustrated by Roblox's response to me thought to look up the man who was not just releasing these terrible press releases, but was controlling the entire platform's moderation. He went to Google, found his account. Nothing unusual at first, but he saw badges. Nothing unusual there either. He expanded them, and he started digging. And he kept digging. What they didn't expect is that one simple search morphed into a discovery. One that would explain why Roblox was exactly where they were. If you watch my channel, you might be familiar with the game I'm showing here. This is Romy. It was a random chat room game, just like the one Chris played. But the predators on this game were unlike anything else. Within seconds, you would be matched into private chat rooms with them. People on my team had to file NCMEC reports over the horrific.
When you know the NCMC, you see, steps in, shit's getting real. Oh my goodness. It's gonna get deeper. He's getting there. I bet he's gonna find exactly where I want. Before, I know Schlep probably did research on this for months. I just need to. But I went there faster than he did. Woohoo. Ben Formonis. Holy. This gets deeper. This gets deeper. I'll let the video play.
Horrific discoveries they found within this experience. Luckily though, this game was taken off the platform, but only after the developer of the game, the one who was making a living off of it, pulled the plug on his own creation. Due to the amount of exploitation, he wrote this statement here. No matter how hard I've tried to make Romeat safe, bad actors have always found a way to bypass.
Watch, I'm gonna literally join this game. I bet you one of the first few people I find on here is gonna be someone doing some not good things. So let's see. All right, so let's see what we find. Okay, that guy looks fine. You gotta find the bacon hairs will pop up. Okay, here we go. Oh, I will definitely bang you, girl. Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of right now. Not gonna lie. You freaky. Add my snap.
Matt Kaufman had a badge of this game on his Roblox profile.
Matt Kaufman has attachments to pedophile remasters. I bet Schlep's gonna break this down too. This son of a Philo hit that. Not enough people are speaking on it. Oh, it gets worse. He'll probably explain it.
Dangerous random chat room game that had reached 250 million visits at the time of its self-removal. A game just like what Chris Hansen just played. 250 million visits. Who knows how many victims this one experience caused? It got worse though. Multiple games that Roblox is currently being sued over presently. Roblox's Chief Safety Officer, Matt Kaufman, had badges on his Roblox profile up. After making this discovery, this user began tweeting it at a bunch of YouTubers. Eventually, a YouTuber by the name of Green Lego Cats.
The OG, Lord Cow, look at that. When you know every content creator from different eras as much as you know as I did, holy goodness gracious, when Lord Cow came up with this and I came up with this, we said, was told Roblox's Chief Safety Officer Matt Kaufman, Remix Workman, has some interesting badges in his inventory. He knows these games exist, and he does nothing about them. The cherry outfits open. Closed off content game Roxas the Hatch event. Don't house roleplay. Placed under review today, full of info, sharing, age playing, dating, risk playing. Daddy's largest condo banned 76 million. Visit dating game. He has a Halloween 2024 batch that was only available for a limited time. Your sus roommate banned. Suggested AI girlfriend game with a sus ending. Romy. Closed by devs. Omegle Tinder S game that often saw dating and predatory behavior occur. He had every singular badge from those games we talked about and did nothing. So something more nefarious is going on. You start to see it's getting worse. I bet he'll explain it.
Make this post here. And what do you know? Matt Kaufman ends up privating his inventory so the public can't view it anymore.
He privated, then he privated the badges. I was wondering, why would somebody want to private their inventory? Why would they add the private their inventory update? If you have nothing to hide, why would they add a privacy feature? Nobody asked it. No one asked for it. Okay, I think it's a cool thing. But why? Why now did they add this feature before all this chaos happened? Think about the timings here. They did all of this, and right when we caught on, hit their badges. The only people I've seen do that before, or people who often did not have good intentions, were pedophiles. Pedophiles, corporations, influencers, and donors. They always hide their stuff. They always want to hide everything. And then Matt Kaufman did so. And it's gonna get worse. He'll keep going.
Due to all the high emotions regarding my situation, people online began deriving an insane narrative that Matt Kaufman was playing these games for his own gratification. I don't think he was, and I want to outright shut that narrative down. He was doing his job. The job he's being paid tens of millions of dollars to do. He was investigating violative games on the platform, and he found one just like what Chris played. But if he played for more than a minute, I can guarantee you he saw something bad. Matt Kaufman might have seen what Chris saw with his own 2 eyes, yet he did not ban the game for such a high role, for such a serious position that millions of kids depend on. Seeing those badges on his profile showed me he failed the only job he had, which was to protect kids. And the games he investigated are now being mentioned in civil and state lawsuits filed against the company. Why did
even worse, fact checked, is correct here. It went from civil, the state, to country, to the Senate. Then the world countries, the big ones, started suing Roblox. This goes far. Matt Kaufman is hiding a bunch of stuff. No, you're getting paid lots of money. I think you can comfortably use that money to start doing things of your own size, of your own denier. You have almost you're like basically a multi-millionaire. Okay, Macau is basically a multi-millionaire based on the jobs that he gets paid a lot of money for this. Why hasn't he taken down those games? Those games have millions and millions and millions of players. Why so? I bet he'll say why.
Matt Kaufman not ban those games? I believe it's the same reason his profile activity disappeared after people started looking. The same reason I was banned. The same reason Roblox didn't ban some of the predators I got arrested after felony arrests. And the same reason Chris was banned and not these predators. I wholeheartedly believe complicity. This company has put profits over safety for far too long. Because in my view, it's become nature for this company to choose suppression over accountability, silence over change. After everything I've seen, I don't believe Roblox's biggest child safety problem is its users or their growth. I believe it truly boils down to the negligent leadership that developed an atrocious safety infrastructure by a guy who had no previous child.
I haven't even gotten to Crunchbase. Crunchbase. Holy. I have so much dirt on that company. Kaufman used to work at Crunchbase. This is basic facts if you're somebody who's like a researcher like me. He's been a chief safety officer, chief systems officer, VP product operations, president, head of operations, Crunchbase. Where do you think he is now? Very small amount of people, but so much, right? Consolidation, profits over safety, that's where it leads to. That's what this leads to. Roblox is perishing. So what will they do in order to make sure this doesn't happen, so that they don't go all the way into the bankruptcy? They're gonna do whatever it takes to possibly combat the loss of interest in their games. All those lawsuits are gonna is basically, if those lawsuits were won and they did nothing, they're basically being sued into oblivion. It's not even a figure of speech. It's seriously, if they lose every one of these lawsuits based on profits over safety, not only will this put in a new president over like video games, social platforms, gaming platforms, distributors, productions, movie crews, this will leave a huge scar in history because of all what they've done led to this. This is the pinnacle of absurdity you can find in a game platform ever experience. We are talking about hundreds of millions of people, hundreds of millions, billions even. This is ridiculous.
Safety experience before working at Roblox. What conclusion are we supposed to derive when your CEO is discussing features like turning the platform into a dating experience for minors in the middle of a child safety crisis, along with your head of safety publicly comparing people exposing predators to predators themselves? Just like I said in my last video, Free Schlep was never about a few Roblox accounts. It was about advocating for these victims and systemic change. Not just changes to the platform, but the leadership at this company and how it operates. The people making these decisions have repeatedly proven they're not fit for the roles they hold. Time and time again, Roblox responds to the safety crisis with flashy updates that generate headlines, but solve none of the underlying problem. So in the end of all this, don't remember me or the Roblox accounts I once had. Remember the people in charge who are actively making these decisions, because at the end of the day, they're the only reason we're still having this conversation to this very day.
Who in here has been playing Roblox when someone's asked you to be their boyfriend or girlfriend? Who's had that happen? Put your hand up for me. You're not in trouble, just put your hand up. Who's been offered free Robux to do something that was inappropriate in the game? Or someone has said, I'll give you some free Robux if you come and follow me on Snapchat or TikTok or something like that. Who's had that happen? Okay, loads of you.
So, I can see some of our community naming experiences on Roblox and just say, take it down, take it down, take it down. I'd say examples could be Meep City, for example. Can you share, like, why, should that be up? Should that be down? Like, what's up?
Do you know you can have your very own home in Meep City? Oh, man.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and join on in. This is a fresh account. And, yep, there's a...
And one thing that we really try to do is be fair to our developers and to not moderate them for the behavior of their users.
Absolutely great video by Schlep. Great. I can't say anymore. And if anybody wants to know how bad Meep City was before all those updates, refer to my video on the video card. I would show you a video from long ago, back when I joined Meep City, years back, when players used to start condos in their maps using the party feature. Regardless of that, I've been asked for 8 years. My Instagram project has been asked for 8 years, of course. I've specified I've Maggie, whatever you can call it. Discord servers out there, and Instagram is out there for you. Link in the description for Discord, and everything's up and available 24/7. I've repeated this too many times by now, but you know how it is. This is the Roblox video. It's my reaction. What do you think? Whatever I react to is not a substitute for the content. React to this yourself. Link in the description will show the video. And as according to that, this is horrible.